Good evening, students. I'm sure everything's going well. You all are taking good care of yourself. Okay, so students, today we are going to start with the second chapter, second lesson of your book, Behive. The name of the chapter is The Sound of Music. First of all, we are going to start with the first part. Evelyn Glenn listens to sound without hearing it. This is the name of the lesson. So, first of all, let's go through the details about the author, right? Deborah Cowley is Ottawa-based writer and broadcaster. She has traveled the world while writing more than 100 articles for different editions of the Reader Digest. Reader's Digest is a book, this you all must be knowing, many of which have been translated into dozens of languages. She has been an on-air broadcaster for CBC Radio in Washington D and worked for CBC Television in London and Cairo, Egypt. She is the author of Cairo, A Practical Guide, Lucille Tedsdale, Doctor of Courage, and she wrote One Woman's Journey, A Portrait. So these were some of her great works, right? So this was about the author, Deborah Cowley, right? So now let's go through the theme of the lesson. Actually, what's there in the lesson? What's the central idea, the main theme of the lesson? This biographical piece tells us how sheer determination and hard work, perseverance, and courage can alone help achieve anything if we put our heart and soul to it. No handicap or barriers can break one's way if one has the will to live their dreams. So, basically, students, this lesson is about how our determination, our willpower, right, our courage can help us achieve all our dreams irrespective of any other barrier, right, or any other hindrance. Okay, so no matter what, whether you are physically disabled or you are having any other problem in your life, whatever it is, but how our determination, our continuous hard work, our power to control ourselves, our mind, and hard work, how all these things can help us in achieving our dreams. They always help us, right? No matter whether you are having any physical disability. Basically, in this we are going to talk about the person, like she was having some disability. So irrespective of that, she achieved so much. Evelyn Glenn achieved so much irrespective of all the problems she was facing. It was only because of her, sheer determination, hard work, courage, all these things, which has, all these things have helped her in all the hard times. No handicap or barrier, anything can break one's way if you have that will to achieve something, right? You have that strong determination. Nothing can just come in your way, right? So this is the basic main theme of the lesson. So let's start, students. Rush hour crowds jostle for position on the underground train platform. A slight girl looking younger than her 17 years was nervous yet excited as she felt the vibrations of the approaching train. Okay, so it was the time, it was a crowded area, right? And rush hour was there, it was rush there. Crowds jostle. Jostle means just pushing everyone to move forward. Okay, for position on the underground train platform. A thin girl was there who was looking younger than her 17 years. She was nervous, yet she was excited also as she felt the vibrations of approaching train. Okay, she could, feel the vibrations of approaching train. It was her first day. Now, who was she? She was Evelyn Glenn, right? Okay, so now she could hear that, though, she could feel those vibrations and she was nervous, she was excited also. Okay, now it was her first day at prestigious Royal Academy of Music in London and daunting enough for any teenager fresh from a Scottish farm. Okay, so she was from she was from Scotland and she was frightened. Daunting means frightened. She was scared because it was her first day in that academy, music academy. उनका first day था, right? So she was a bit scared and nervous. But this aspiring musician faced a bigger challenge than most. Okay, but there was a bigger challenge that she was facing. What was the challenge? That she was profoundly deaf. Profoundly means she was completely deaf, extremely deaf. Okay, so this was the challenge of her life. Okay, so this was the biggest challenge that she was facing. Evelyn Glennie's loss of hearing has been gradual. Gradual means slow. Her mother remembers noticing something was wrong when the 8-year-old Evelyn was waiting to play the piano. One day, what happened? Her mother noticed that she was waiting to play the piano. They called her name, that means she was called, okay, and she didn't move. But she didn't move, okay, as if she didn't hear. Okay, ऐसा लगा उन्हें सुनाई नहीं दिया, so she didn't move. I suddenly realized she hadn't heard. Okay, that means I's mother, right? Evelyn's mother, she realized that Evelyn didn't hear only, says Isabel Glenn, right? Her mother. For quite a while, Evelyn managed to conceal her growing deafness from friends and teachers. Conceal means to hide. She was able to hide her deafness. Okay, जो उनका deafness था, she was able to hide it from friends and family. But what happened? By the time she was 11, her marks deteriorated. That means her marks, grades went low. उनकी जो grades थी वो कम होते जा रहे थे. And her headmistress urged her parents to take her to a specialist. Okay, उनके parents को क्या urge किया उनके headmistress ने? That she should be taken to a specialist. Okay, since she was profoundly deaf, as she was not able to hear. It was then discovered that her hearing severely impaired. As a result of gradual nerve damage, they were advised that she should be fitted with hearing aids and sent to a school for the deaf. Okay, so it was then realized that she was, her nerve got damaged and her hearing was impaired. That means her hearing power got weakened. Okay, उनकी hearing power weak हो गई थी. And they were advised that she should be sent to a school for the deaf and she should be given some hearing aids. Okay, everything suddenly looked black, says Evelyn, that she was like, she was stuck, that what should I do, like what will happen in future and all. But Evelyn was not going to give up. She was determined to lead a normal life and pursue her interest in music. She never gave up, right? She was determined that yes, I'll lead a normal life. One day she noticed a girl playing a xylophone and decided that she wanted to play it too. That means, she also wanted to play that xylophone. Xylophone is a musical instrument, right? Okay, now most of the teachers discouraged her, but percussionist Ron Forbes spotted her potential. Okay, now most of the teachers discouraged her that no, you cannot do it, you're deaf and you are not able to hear and all. But one percussionist, right? One percussionist is actually a drummer, like one who plays drum and all, right? Ron Forbes, her teacher, spotted her potential. उनको उनका potential दिखाई दिया, potential ability. Okay. He began by tuning 2 large drums to different notes. So he played 2 large drums with different notes. उन्होंने 2 large drums को different notes में play किया. Okay, don't listen through your ears, he would say. Try to sense it some other way. So he said that don't listen through your ears. Just try to sense it some other way. Says Evelyn, suddenly I realized I could feel the higher drum from the waist up and lower one from the waist down. Okay, suddenly Evelyn realized that she was able to feel the music. She was able to feel the higher drum. That means the higher note. Music notes we are talking about here. Music ke jo notes hote hain, right? So, she realized that she was able to feel the higher notes from the waist up part. Okay, waist is actually the part where you tie your belts and all. Okay, so waist up ke jo body parts the, she was able to hear or feel higher notes from waist up and lower notes from waist down. So in all, she was able to feel the music. She can't hear, but she was able to feel the music. Forbes repeated the exercise and soon Evelyn just developed that she could sense certain notes in different parts of her body. She just discovered that she could sense certain notes कि उनको कुछ notes feel हो रहे हैं through some different parts of her body. I had learned to open my mind and body to sounds and vibration. That means she was able to feel the sound and vibrations. And the rest, और बाकी क्या था? Rest was her strong determination and hard work, which led to success. She never looked back from that point onwards. That means now she never looked back. Now she just, got an idea that yes, I will never give up. I will definitely achieve my goals. She toured United Kingdom with a youth orchestra, and by the time she was 16, she had decided to make music her life. Okay, so by the time she was 16 now, when she was 16 years old, she decided that yes, she will make music her life. That yes, she will do something good in the field of music. She auditioned for Royal Academy of Music and scored one of the short perform highest mark in the history of the academy, right? So she just auditioned the Royal Academy of Music and she got highest marks in the history of academy. She gradually moved from orchestral work to solo performances. Now orchestra, group of musicians are there. You all must be knowing orchestra means when you're having number of musicians, the ones who play drums and number of instruments. Okay, but after some time she moved to solo performances. Solo means where she used to perform solo. That means she only used to perform, not a group. Okay, so she after some time she shifted from orchestral work, group work to solo performances. Now she started giving solo performances. At the end of her 3-year course, she had captured most of the top awards. So at the end of her 3-year course, she did a course now in music. So at the end of that, she captured most of the top awards. Okay, उनको बहुत सारे top awards मिल गए थे. And for all this, Evelyn won't accept any hint of heroic achievement. She just says, if you work hard and you know where you are going, you will get there. Okay, so according to her, if you work hard and you know that where you want to go, that you have a fixed goal, then you will achieve your goal. And she got right to the top, the world's most sought after multi-percussionist with a mastery of some 1,000 instruments and hectic international schedule. It's hectic. Hectic means busy. Okay, HECTIC. Okay, international schedule. That means she was performing internationally. She was giving solo performances and she had won number of awards. So now it was her way to success. It is intriguing to watch Ellen function so effortlessly without hearing. Okay, intriguing means it's like so curious, right? Everyone is when you are, surprised or fascinated with someone's performance, that how good he or she is. Okay, so it is so fascinating to watch Evelyn function so effortlessly without hearing. That means she used to, play the instruments so effortlessly. What is effortlessly? It's like smoothly, without any problem. Okay, and although she was deaf, but then too she was able to perform so effortlessly. In our 2-hour discussion, she never missed a word. Men with bushy beards give me trouble, she laughed. It's not just watching the lips, it's the whole face, especially the eyes. So she was like that, men with bushy beards. Okay, you all must be knowing beards, like men who are having bushy or thick beards. Those men give her trouble because she's not able to see the face, right? Because since she's deaf, so she can only read the lips, right? If someone is telling her something, she can just read the lips. Okay, through expressions she was able to get the things. But men who were having heavy beards, their lips were only visible ना, उनके सिर्फ lips visible होते थे. It was difficult to get an idea of what they were talking. Okay, because it's only the lips that were visible, the whole face was not visible of such men who were having beards. So such men used to give her trouble. Trouble means she was having some problems, getting the things from such men who were having such beards, right? She speaks flawlessly with a Scottish lilt. She used to speak without any mistake. Okay, beautifully in a Scottish way. Okay, Scottish language. Okay, Scottish way. My speech is clear because I could hear till I was 11, she says. So she, her speech is clear in Scottish because she could hear till she was 11. Obviously she could hear till he was 11, right? Till she was 11 she could hear. After that she had problems, right? But that doesn't explain how she managed to learn French and master basic Japanese. Okay, she also mastered basic Japanese. She was and she learned French also, right? As for music, she explains, it pours in through every part of my body. What is pour? To fill. Okay, so every part of his body gets filled with the music notes. It tingles in the skin, my cheekbones, and even in my hair. That means this is the way she is able to feel the music. Each and every part of her body is able to feel the music. When she plays the xylophone, she can sense the sound passing up the stick into her fingertips. Okay, and when she plays that musical instrument of xylophone, she could feel the sound passing up the stick. Okay, like she feels as if the sound is passing from the stick through which she's beating the drums. The sound is passing through the sticks into her fingertips. Okay, it seems as the sound is passing from stick to her fingertips. उनके fingertips तक sound आ रहा है. It feels. By leaning against the drums, she can feel the resonance flowing into her body. So by leaning against the drum, leaning is like touching them and just by siding them. Leaning against the drum, she can feel the resonance or echoes of sound flowing into her body. So this is how she used to feel the music, because she was not able to hear it. On a wooden platform, she removes her shoes so that vibrations pass through her bare feet and up her legs. Okay, so on a wooden platform, she used to remove her shoes so that vibrations can pass through her bare feet. कि जो vibrations हैं वो उनके bare feet से pass होकर उनकी body में जाएं. Right? Okay, so you used to remove the shoes and all. Not surprisingly, Evelyn delights her audience. Obviously, audience को वो delight करती है. She just makes them happy. In 1991, she was presented with Royal Philharmonic Society's prestigious Soloist of the Year award. She was awarded with this award in 1991, says master percussionist James Blades. Okay, so she received such a great honor. The famous percussionist James Blades says, God may have taken her hearing, but he has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any of us. That's why she expresses music so beautifully. So he says that God may have taken her hearing, but he has given her some extraordinary things. What we hear, she can feel, and more deeply than us. That's why she expresses music so beautifully. Evelyn confesses that she is something of a workaholic. Workaholic means the ones who like to work. Okay, I have just got to work, often harder than classical musicians, but the rewards are enormous. Although she had to work hard, but results were enormous. Enormous means huge. Apart from regular concerts, Evelyn also gives free concerts in prisons and hospitals. And she also used to give free concerts, free, music shows in hospitals and prisons. Okay. She also gives high priority to classes for young musicians. That means she also used to, give high priority for young musicians, the newcomers. Okay. Priority is when you prioritize, like when you want when you think of someone at first. Okay, so you used to think of these young musicians also. And Richlin of the Beethoven Fund for Deaf Children says, she is a shining inspiration for deaf children. They see that there is nowhere that they cannot go. And Richlin is actually a professor in classical department. Okay, so she it was like that fun. She used to say that she is a shining inspiration. वो एक shining inspiration है for deaf children. Okay, they see after her, they see that there is nowhere they cannot go. ऐसी कोई place नहीं है जहाँ पे वो नहीं जा सकते. ऐसा कोई goal नहीं है वो जो achieve नहीं कर सकते. So this this girl Evelyn Glenn was an inspiration for all the deaf children. Evelyn Glenn has already accomplished more than most people twice her age. That means even the people who are twice her age have not achieved so much than she has. Okay, जो लोग उनसे twice age के हैं उन्होंने भी इतना achieve नहीं किया जितना उन्होंने किया achieve, right? Evelyn ने. She has brought percussion to the front of the orchestra and demonstrated that it can be very moving, it can be so strong, it can be so felt, deeply felt. She has given inspiration to those who are handicapped, people who look to her and say, if she can do it, I can. And not at the least, she has given enormous pleasure to millions. She has given inspiration also, and she has given pleasure also to all the people. She has entertained a lot of people. People got fascinated by her work. Fascinated is like, you when you think like how can she play such these musical instruments so well even when she is deaf. That is fascinating. So she has given inspiration to a lot of deaf children, lot of people with this physical disability, handicapped people, and she has also entertained a lot of people, fascinated a lot of people. So this is how this this Evelyn Glenn, irrespective of her physical disability, she has achieved so much success, and how she has made a success story, right? So again, the moral here is that no matter what, you all should be strongly determined. If you want to achieve your goal, nothing can stop you, right? No physical disability, no, nothing can stop you if you have that determination, if you have that willpower, right? Like she had, right? If you have that courage, if you have that, you can easily achieve your goals like she did. You can make your own success story, right? So this was your first part, students. Go through it from your book, right? If any issue, you can contact me. I'll see you all in the next class. Till then, just take care, students. Thank you.